We need civility. We can agree to disagree, but we need to disagree in a way that's productive, that we can work through problems and opportunities and come to resolution without hard feelings. And that's one of my strengths. I've done that my whole life. Get people to work together in ways where we park the ego at the door, starting with myself, and where we work through challenges and opportunities. I will meet with every council person and talk with every council person every week, as well as people from up and down the community to know what other people are thinking. Leadership style is listening for me and inclusion and coming to decisions.
Coming from a public safety background, I look at our city government as the foundation of our city, and I look at it currently as being cracked and crumbling. I believe we need to get in, we need to shake things up a little bit. We need the right department heads in the right position that are going to help lead their people into the future for the betterment of our community. Without this, I don't believe we can build on top of that foundation. I don't think we can build our house on top of that.
Those three enterprises represent terrific investments we've made as a community over years. I think the best thing we can do is to continue to think about how do we maximize that investment, those investments. I look for ways in which we can make each of those, the airport, Memorial Hospital, and utilities, a much more dynamic economic engine. How can we govern them, and how can we establish our mission in a way that allows them to serve our community well to the maximum of their capabilities, but also perhaps expand their reach so that they can expand the amount of jobs they create and expand the economic benefit that they bring back to the city.
I believe that we can use managed competition not just in the city, but if we have some collaboration between the city council and the mayor, then we can use managed competition, which is where we allow the government employees to compete for the work against the private sector, and it will drive down costs and improve service. We will find tens of millions of dollars of savings, which will allow us to keep your rates lower and to improve services at the city. As for Memorial, I opposed the April ballot issue that was going to be put on for the April ballot because it did not provide a fair return for you, the taxpayers, and we must make sure anything we do provides a return to you.
Yes, I do. And I think that they're a huge value to this community. I would like to be a person to sit at the table, and actually the current mayor is a member of the EDC board. But the hope is that we can work together and think outside the box a little bit. I particularly like what Littleton has done with economic gardening. So I know that this Economic Development Corporation has done a great job bringing new corporations in, but I also think we need to help grow our own. They're starting to look at that with their Think Local program. I'd like to make it so we're being a little more entrepreneurial and that we work together. But yes, I think we have absolutely need to support them.
I'll make it unanimous. Yes, we need to support the EDC financially. We also need to do a variety of other things to make us the most business-friendly city in the West. On my website, wonderformayor.com, you can find 10 things I would do in the first 100 days of being elected mayor. One of those things is we can immediately get rid of the sales tax we charge on manufacturing equipment. We're getting nothing from that now during this recession. If we eliminate it, we won't miss it, and we'll become that much more attractive to manufacturers thinking of locating here, or manufacturers who are here and thinking of reinvesting. Another thing I would do is immediately convene a mayor's task force on tourism and see if we can't bring tourism back to where it ought to be in this century. Find out how we can do that with city help.
Well, you know, I think that we don't talk very well as a community right now. We've got various neighborhoods, and we go home, we go to work the next day, maybe we hang out with some friends around there, but we don't understand what's going on in the western part of our city if you don't live there. I think that there's a tremendous challenge to pull us back together, and I'm working up a couple of projects right now with the Chamber of Commerce to help create a better sense of community. You know, my idea as a mayor is that I want to have a big table, and anybody that wants to come to that table and sit down and help move us forward, there's room for you. And that is regardless of where you might stand on a number of those issues that typically divide us.
What do we need to do about fixing this barrier between diversity and, let's admit it, we're talking Christians. It's a very deep issue. So my statement would be this: how could we possibly treat anybody less favorably just because of their diverse lifestyle? There's not a Christian in this room that hasn't sinned. And we are called to love everybody. So I would be willing to add +1 benefit to our city employees.
And I would remind them that Fort Carson is the state's largest employer. And it's poised to get bigger unless they do something stupid in Denver to shoot us in the head down here. Regional works when there's wins in it for everyone. And I'm not sure that the folks in Denver want us to have wins. I come to the table with an open mind, but I'm always going to understand that my obligation is to serve this community and cut the best deal for us. And if I have to be loud and noisy to do it, I'll be loud and noisy and get it done.
The city finances are really where we're at, where we stand. We need to delve into those issues because we have to know where our revenue sources are at, where our costs are, where our liabilities, where our assets, before we can make any analysis. And my next step would be to start with the city employees and the police and the fire from the bottom up, not from the top down, because that's where your leadership is developed from the bottom up. People that learn to respect and have better morale and work with each other better. That's the way I would do it.